Hello and welcome back to the TREKCRAFT.modded.fun games server. Now it's been a while, quite some time since I've recorded, but I have some good reason. I've been renovating my office, so I have, not wanted to risk some bad audio quality, so there's been that, but also because I'm working on something brand new. It's a bit of a burnout project for my other two main builds. And that would be the Manticore. Now, this ship here I've wanted to work on for a long time. It's a ship that I found out about maybe 2 years ago, and ever since then I've really had an attachment to the design, but I've never been able to get a good model of it up until about a month ago. So I got the model, imported it, and started working. So far, we're in the middle of the hull detailing process, so around here I just have the base lines, Aztecing, and windows in, no registry yet. I still need to detail around this gray area. This area hasn't seen any detailing yet, but I've made quite a bit of progress very fast, so I felt like it was kind of good to get a recording in to kind of better showcase what's been going on here. So this bottom area of the hull, I've also detailed along the side, as well as the lower hangar bay. I have not done the deflector yet, but that will actually probably be a project for me later today. Around here, I've not started on the pylon. That's going to need a lot of cleanup. Something that we often do is we have to go through, and the imports are never perfect, so we have to go back through and clean it up, make it look nice, then we'll detail it. The nacelle is another thing that has seen some work but still needs cleanup. It's not quite so refined. There's a lot of different areas that I still want to work with on that. But the area on the inside that has definitely seen the most work is the Shuttle Bay. Now, for the Manticore and the Chimera, it's shipped before the refit. There's nothing shown what the Shuttle Bay is like on the inside, so I got totally free reign on it, which is awesome. That way I could do something I really kind of felt like would be better. So, we have the ship cut in half right now, so you can only see half of it, but up top here is just a staging and landing bay. Your quick deploy shuttles would be in here. Then it would also have access to the lower main cargo and storage bay. Now this is mostly cargo, this deck, although shuttles move throughout it. Most of the shuttle storage will be off this way, and this is going to be an interesting area because we have a lot of things that intersect and kind of get in the way of each other here. So along here we have the main saucer impulse engines. While they are not the most powerful and main impulse drive of the ship, that would be in the pylon, still there has to be a good amount of space allocated for them. So I haven't quite decided how much space that will be, but it is definitely going to interfere with this area. As well as over here we have the warp core, and we will check out engineering in a moment, but it has the main deuterium feed lines going up top here that then link up and then go into the core. So that would get in the way of a lot of moving things back more this way if I wanted to. And then also the main warp plasma conduit, so this is what takes the already warp reaction to plasma and stuff and sends it off to the warp nacelles. So originally my plan was to have the center tube not be a center one like this, have it split into two like it does already farther back, because remember this will be mirrored, and have it go farther along the side and just go into it from exit the reaction chamber from the sides. But I ran into the issue that this entire side is covered in windows, and actually moving the plasma conduits out to the side would take up more space, and you don't really want one of your most vital systems being able to be seen from the outside of your ship. So this is what we had to do. So what I'm going to do instead to be able to have access to this lower bay is we're going to have two platforms through here. There will be two platforms that will go up and down that will then eventually reach this bottom hangar. That's why I also moved the reaction chamber up. It's in that room there, but it was more around here or here. Moving on, the ship will not have a traditional bridge. It's not going to be right on the bridge window, because most would envision it as the bridge being right here, which makes sense. I even have a copy over here with the old bridge in here, but I'm not going to be doing this. Instead, we're going to be having the bridge in this segment somewhere around here. And the best showcase of that I could give you would be the JJ Prize, which does the same thing. That has a center atrium here that goes all the way down, with then the bridge being in front of it, right here. And speaking of the JJ Prize, I need to get back to this. A lot of people have kind of been enjoying their summers. They haven't been online a lot, so maybe I'll have to come back to this so I can give more updates, but that's for a different video. Back to here, we're going to have a center atrium that will also have a little sitting viewing platform here out into the cosmos, because there are windows on the model right here, so I had to do something with them, and that was my solution. Moving on, this will be probably our 10 forward, or our, well, it's not 10 decks down, but the equivalent of the 10 forward on the Enterprise D. This area has been customized unlike the regular Manticore, so it does not have the smaller amount of windows I wanted to really, because this isn't meant to be the Manticore. I figured, why not bump it up a bit. Same way, this will not be like the Manticore and have the phaser Lotus array, so parts of the ship will not move to reveal the larger phaser, because that's a headache, and I think it's dumb, and I think 90% of anybody watching this and more would agree with me, if you understand what I'm talking about. Further, the only thing I have planned around this area is the Deuterium Storage. Around this area, now yeah, it's maybe not smart to have your Deuterium Storage facing the outside of the ship, but pretty much every Federation ship does that, the D being the largest example. Literally, if I go through the hull here, or, okay, not here, if I go through the hull here, yep, it's right into the Deuterium Storage, so I didn't really find it being a issue, personally. Furthermore, there will be more crew quarters along here. I need to still put in the other phaser array, which will be on the underside of this section. The deflector array and the slipstream systems, because this is a slipstream capable ship. And what I might just do is actually have an adjacent room that follows this corridor here, that then goes over to the slipstream control area, because it makes sense. What else do I have to showcase off about this build? Not much, really. Yeah, I got this idea also from the JJ Prize with the external hatch that can be detached for cargo to enter easily. This ship is a really, really unique one, in the way that a lot of the systems on it, we haven't had ships built with them yet on the server, and just the fact that a lot of people don't like the design, but I've also never built something quite in this style. For a lot of the hull here, I've had to devise my own designs with how it gets subtly darker in segments there, like the easily most noticeable areas here. If you look, the area at the top there, it's darker, but only by a slight shade, because the hull there is the same tone as the other one, only I swapped out the lightest block for the next block one shade down from the darker one in the lighter segment. And that's confusing, I guess, kind of the way I worded it, but basically that white concrete which is the brightest block in the build there, gets swapped out for the brick texture, and that gives it just an ever so slightly darker tone, which is exactly what I was hoping for. But now it sounds like somebody is cutting something down outside, and that's going to create noise. And anyway, I don't have much more to say, so I guess I'll just cut it off here. It's a good point as any. So I will see you in the next update.